Following the July 26th coup in Niger, regional African and international allies have reacted swiftly, imposing a range of sanctions on a nation that plays a significant role in the uranium production market. Notably, Niger stands as the world's seventh-largest uranium producer, a key element in nuclear energy production and cancer treatment. This comes against a backdrop where Niger, despite its resources, is among the globe's poorest nations, heavily relying on about $2 billion in annual developmental assistance. The 2023 budget forecasts indicate that out of Niger's 3,245 billion CFA francs, $5.53 billion, fiscal budget, approximately 342.44 billion francs were expected to be sourced from external budgetary support and loans. An additional 978.47 billion francs was projected to stem from project grants and loans provided by external collaborators. In total, external partners were anticipated to contribute over $2.2 billion, accounting for roughly 40% of Niger's entire budget. The CFA franc, while providing certain economic benefits like monetary stability, has become a symbol of ongoing external influence and control. For many Africans, genuine post-colonial independence remains closely tied to monetary autonomy, making the currency a lightning rod for discussions on sovereignty and neo-colonialism. Regional sanctions by ECOWAS. The ECOWAS and the West African Monetary and Economic Union have levied some of the harshest sanctions on Niger in the aftermath of the coup. They are immediate suspension of all trade transactions, freezing of Niger's assets in the regional central bank and commercial banks, suspension of all fiscal assistance with regional development banks. Significant financial implications could push Niger towards defaulting on its debt. An intended bond issuance worth 30 billion CFA francs, $51 million, was halted by the regional central bank. Niger had targeted raising 490 billion CFA francs, $834 million, from the regional debt market in 2023. Nigeria severed its power supply via the 80-megawatt Benin-Kebbi line, and Ivory Coast paused its import and export of Nigerian merchandise. The BCEO, West Africa's regional central bank, closed its branches in Niger due to operational risks. European and international sanctions include European Union. The EU, one of Niger's primary benefactors, immediately halted its fiscal support and security cooperation. A staggering 503 million euros, $554 million, had been earmarked for governance, education, and growth in Niger for 2021 to 2024. France. Having historical ties as Niger's former colonizer, France halted its developmental aid and budgetary support, calling for a swift restoration of constitutional order. France had dedicated around 120 million euros, $130 million, in 2022 as developmental aid to Niger, and was anticipated to exceed this amount in 2023. Netherlands. Following the coup, the Dutch government suspended its collaborations that supported Niger's development and security. United States, the U.S., a significant humanitarian and security aid provider, halted assistance programs valued above $100 million, urging the military junta to restore the democratically elected government. Canada ceased its direct development support and threw its weight behind ECOWAS's mediation efforts. World Bank. Disbursements were paused with a notable exception for private sector alliances, which are to be pursued with caution. Niger boasts one of the largest World Bank portfolios in Africa, amounting to $4.5 billion. This collective response underscores the global concern and the pivotal role that Niger plays in regional and international dynamics. The sanctions' impacts will likely be profound, given Niger's economic vulnerabilities and its heavy dependence on external aid. There's a growing sentiment in parts of Niger's populace that views Russia as a counterbalance to the West's influence, particularly France. Russia's non-conditional engagement approach, which contrasts with the West's often conditional aid, has found favor with some in Niger. As noted, pro-coup demonstrators in Niamey have even held up Russian flags, a symbolic gesture reflecting a positive perception of Russia among segments of the population. Potential warming to Russia is also influenced by shifts in neighboring countries. Mali's post-coup pivot towards Russian mercenaries, for instance, can influence the geopolitical calculations in Niamey. If you found this deep dive insightful, please leave a comment, give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis.